All right, you guys, welcome to the Noble L Show. All right, so a few things were sent to us between last night and this morning. I'm going to see which one the Spirit of God wants me to share with you guys. Now, you guys can join us here on our email group. You can email us for that. You can join our online tutor school class, and you can also watch our two channels. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Those of you in need of a private email consultation, if you guys have the hold harmless agreement, right? Our hold harmless agreement, send them that. Don't call some other document that's not really it, the hold harmless agreement. I think maybe we were trying some of that at some point. That didn't work. If you have the hold harmless agreement, use that and send it to the parties that you're dealing with currently, right? Um, for those of you in need of set off documents for things like child support cases, mortgages, foreclosures, tickets, citations, auto loans, student loans, warrants, and for those of you having to see an agent, doing business as parole officer, as well as those of you in for nonviolent offenses, you can email us for the GSA bond templates to set off the matters and the 1099 OID to get back the finances they claimed you owed. Now, remember, when you receive the court claim with all loss from us, right? We've left some of our stuff in there so you guys can see what to take out, right? We did it for a reason, you guys. When you are writing to them, you know how we have a tendency to go off about a particular thing that's happening to us? But the situation, the third party interloper purporting the debt, purporting the matter, claiming your children, whatever, that's only part of the issue. What you have to do is go to the meat, the root of the issue. The root of the issue is really some questions that you have to ask them, such as, are you committing identity theft? Are you attempting to tap one's nom de guerre strawman account? Is this peonage, racketeering, human trafficking, sex trade, slave trade, genocide, as per the registration of the birth certificate, right? On the stock market at 55 Water Street, hence the bonds, the GSA bonds, right? And did you register? Am I registered on as an orphan in the Delaware registry? So you go to the root of the issue. So it's like a purported debt. You just write really briefly. A lot of people don't even like to write whatever the matter is they're claiming, right? And then the issue is this a tax matter? As I do not wish to be a party to fraud. I tell you guys all the time, right? As we're being targeted, our lives have been placed in jeopardy. We require an advocate, right? Right? So just keep that in mind when you're writing to entities so you don't end up going on 15 pages of the hurt and the emotion and the harm. Are you trying to harm me? Whatever, right? Stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Now, remember, you guys, please, please, please remember to support us here. I want to thank all of you for sharing with us and supporting us here. Remember to go to PayPal at themullings@gmail.com. We'll put the link in the description below. Now, I want to share with you a couple things. I think some of the stuff you guys see, right? Some of it's mind control. And I try to stay away from a lot of that stuff. But we did get something this morning I shared with our email group. However, I don't know if I want to share it here. It's a bit much, I find, and I just think that it's social engineering. I think it's mind control. All right, an interim military U.S. government was actually running our country. The 10 miles of Washington, D.C. White House and the Capitol building was secured with barbed wire fences and 60,000 troops. The U.S. military would control all assets, taxpayer dollars, conduct a return to a gold asset-backed dollar, and ensure the republic would be restored to elements of the original Constitution as written prior in 1871. The two governments ruling, I was just listening to Linwood, and Linwood was saying they were asking him why he was leading them astray or something, and they were talking about how a lot of the so-called agents doing business as de facto governments globally, Estonia, all these different countries have stepped down, right? Now, I was saying to you that our elders had reported to us many moons prior. We have been in a one world government for a very, 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 very long time. America, Indian country, I was saying, was a globe. Morocco was the globe, right? We were taught Morocco was this one small territory, this new Morocco. That's not what it is. Indian country was the globe, right? We were given the inheritance of the lands globally. So the United States Corporation, the original United States Corporation, the good one, was put in charge of our inheritance, and then they made it United States Corporation Incorporated, whatever. And yeah, took over all the stuff and turned it into some crap that's not what it was, right? So I was saying that these agents that are stepping down, Linwood was saying that we're going to go back to our original self-governance. So in each district, in each community, in each territory, we will be running the show as the people, right? We the people. So I was trying to explain this to someone recently. This entity that was just, God, you guys ever see some really ignorant entities that you really have to wonder, like, are you for real, and you're trying to show them something. Recently there was this structure that's been sitting there for a really really long time, and needless to say the building has kind of become dilapidated and it's in need of some TLC. So I was saying that it's really great we can fix up the bottom for these elders and stuff so they have access to something that place they can stay or whatever. So this other entity decided that they were going to build on top and go upstairs, which I thought very good idea, except that you really need to have a foundation, proper secure foundation that's, secured, and then you can think about going upstairs, right? Anyways, long story short, they couldn't understand what I was trying to say, right? So I politely, tried to tell them some things that they need to consider. And yeah, as I'm saying that, however, I'm realizing the exact same situation I'm dealing with this particular entity is the exact same situation globally that has to happen now currently. So what Linwood is saying is the fact that the foundation of America, the globe, has to be secured first, right? And then all these other things that are kicking in and coming in can take place second, right? So the republic has to be restored, right? All the corruption has to stop globally, right? Hence the military currently that's gone around the globe to clean up the corruption, right? And then the people in the communities and stuff can again now be restored. I was talking to this young lady who worked at this particular establishment. And when I walked into this establishment, she was such an amazing worker. I thought she owned the store. She was so incredible that each and every time I went in there, not fully understanding what I needed or what needed to get done, she was able to direct me and help me figure out what I needed and how much I needed and whatever. Just incredible. Anyways, long story short, she said that she no longer worked at this place because she had contracted pneumonia. So she was walking with her son. The two of them had on the mask, whatever. And I said, the little boy started coughing. I said, oh, take off the mask really quick. And I was telling them what happened, right? And she got it. As soon as I explained about the mask, she said she had pneumonia. She had to quit the job because of the fumes in the atmosphere in the company she was working for seemed to have affected her system, eh? Long story short, she got a measly, I think it was like $140 US. That was her severance pay. Don't laugh, you guys, but I couldn't believe it. And I was saying to her, like, what do you want to do? You're such a good, like, you'd be good at running your own business. What kind of stuff? Turns out she's an artist and she would like to open a restaurant and stuff. And I thought, man, if I had it, I would open up something for her to have her just run it. You ever see people that are just so astute and so good at what they do in life that you instantly want to put them in charge of something, right? Because they have this dignity and this tenacity and this way about them that you could literally see them running something, no matter what it was. And she was saying she couldn't at the moment because she couldn't get a job because she didn't have anyone to watch her children. And she just had a baby not too long ago. And I was saying, man, it would be so great. So I was telling her, I thought you'd be really good working in administration, like a clerk, like something like running like a FedEx office or UP. They're limited. They only have like one in this territory, right? And I said, it'd be really good if you had like, yeah, UPS, FedEx, or some kind of Tara, and you do faxing and charge of copies and stuff, like photocopies and stuff, because tons of people are always trying to get photocopies or print jobs and stuff. And yeah, there's a couple places here, not much. So I was saying to her that would be more conducive for her at this particular moment in time. But it was just great to see her and to be able to remember how amazing she was at what she did. And I was just thinking somebody like that in communities and districts across the globe could run the show, because they're really, what's the word? When someone is just really not just meticulous, but um, got those really good skills, those communication skills, which is what this other entity is lacking when they're losing their natural mind. Telling people all kinds of crap that's just like, God, if you just have some common sense, you could hear what we're saying. Anyways, so that was something interesting that happened today. But this week it was likely that the rolling blackouts would occur in areas of the country where mass arrests were being made. Communications would be out for a short period of time on Tuesday, 26 January, from 11 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. There was a blackout, internet outages, and slow service on the East Coast from Boston to Washington, D.C. Verizon internet outage. There's a video here. I haven't watched that yet. Soon, the emergency broadcast system would be activated. The military produced TV programs, and then it just goes on, right? So I'll put this in the description below. Oh boy, I'm still waiting for Donald Trump's email, right? I was watching this. Remember, I was talking about this movie, you guys, The £1,000,000 Note, 1954 comedy satire starring Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck, in the beginning of this movie, right, gets this £1,000,000 note. He's kind of down on his luck. He's in England from America looking for work, and he goes to the embassy asking for some notes. They're telling him they don't have anything for him and whatever. Long story short, these two guys, it reminded me of the Eddie Murphy movie Trading Places, right? They create this £1,000,000 note. They see him straggling on the road, invite him in, give it to him, and the rest is, you watch the movie. But I thought it was interesting when I watched the movie again yesterday, this scene with all these babies, right? He meets this, no, he gets invited. When he gets the £1,000,000 note, he gets invited. He gets free tailor-made clothes. He gets invited to stay at this hotel. Long story short, he gets put on all these invitations to all these high society things, right? And yeah, it just reminded me of our inheritance theft too when I watched this, right? Anywho, but the point is, as he's going through the motions of having this note, he's also giving away more than what he has, right, through these charities and stuff. But he's invited to this one thing with this orphanage, right? And I just thought it was interesting that they're showing these babies, because hence what we're in today. So you guys go and watch this movie, you'll see. And the other thing I found interesting was he was listed as an American national, right? And as an American national, he was seconded to try to help everywhere. And it just reminded me of us here. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. But yesterday when I made the movie and I was coming up with the title for the movie, and all
Freaking
of a
believable, you
sudden,
guys. He was installed because there was a threat affecting the entire eastern seaboard. Oh my lord. Hmm.
World War III has started. World War III is a hybrid war that has started, that is a mixture of biological, cyber warfare, and other means. They have killed, as of yesterday, 375,000 Americans through COVID-19.
so you guys can go and watch the video I made yesterday. But the title of that video I made yesterday, another movie act, Lecto-Cryptographic Device, James Bond movie from Russia with Love. So I was looking at that movie clip, right? And I was doing some research on the name of that, and I just thought it was interesting. I was looking at the meaning of the word crypto, and it came up as crypto, a combining meaning, hidden secret. A combining form meaning hidden secret used in the formation of compound words. Cryptograph, also especially before a vowel crypt. In creating the title for this video, it appeared this movie appeared, so I decided to watch the trailer, and it looks similar to where we are now, people. The movie that keeps coming to me now is Mrs. Doubtfire, with what's his name? I always call him Mork and Mindy, who's passed on. But I just keep picturing Mrs. Doubtfire because remember all these are all the military stuff that's coming out. Yeah, all the makeup and stuff that he had to wear to look like Mrs. Doubtfire, right? So I was thinking about Biden, and I was thinking about Barack, and I was thinking about all these Gates and them and that who were actors. So I was trying to figure out who the actors are was playing them. That's what I was saying. Because Charlie Ward was saying that some of them as actors, right? They would go from one room to another room and gain 20 pounds. You remember when they showed Hillary Clinton and she had, I think it was an accident, and she went up to see her daughter in that apartment building and came down looking like 20 or 30 pounds lighter. Was it lighter or heavier? But she looked totally different. You guys remember that? So that's the movie that keeps coming to me. But anyway, this has all these gadgets, man, that I thought was interesting. Remember Donald Trump was saying that he got all these new gadgets for the military? That means they knew the war was on, right? Let's see if I can find it.
The capacity of the water tank is liters.
I don't think I can play the music. Wow.
Our regular viewers know that modern manufacturers are serious about expanding the market for
Anyways, you guys can go and watch this in more detail, right? I'm gonna put this up for a second and take it off. Do not let it seep into your brain. It's just the CCP and yeah, playing some stuff, you guys. Don't watch it for too long, okay? So I was saying, is people's behinds gonna have to wear a mask all of a sudden? Hmm? And then this, you guys, so disturbing.
Wanted to do Christmas shopping, and I was made to feel ashamed and dirty, and not like I wasn't supposed to be there.
Listen to this, you guys. I think it was Walmart in Manitoba, Canada, right? Security kicks a shopper with cerebral palsy and illegal mask exemption out of Manitoba Walmart. International authorities go and find those agents doing business as managers and security guards at the Walmart in Manitoba and anywhere else around the globe that they're forcing this guy, who you guys can clearly see his hands don't work, right? To wear a mask, right? He has a mask exemption, probably made disabled by the same agents involved in all the corruption we're dealing with, right? Escort, he was there to buy some chocolates for his friend for his Christmas present, right? And they didn't even talk to him. They were talking to his healthcare worker because he didn't exist. This guy's actually really intelligent. He has 2 degrees and he's starting up a business, right? And when you hear him talk, you realize he has sense. Because a lot of people like myself who are supposedly were made disabled, some of us don't even look disabled. But some of us have like head injuries and, memory injuries and all kinds of injuries. And we know we can't wear a mask. So go and round them up this night and the rest of the agents involved, right? Because I see Walmart and all these corporations going down. Because once people find out they're involved in all this stuff, because it was reported to us, even Antiva and BLM, were they not being funded by these same corporations? Go look it up, you guys. So make sure he's compensated, give him his chocolates, and make sure he can shop freely, right? He has a right to do commerce because we have a right to life, people. So there was that one. And then You know, I always see these skull
Jolly
and bone stuff, right? And I never understood what this actually means fully.
use of the term Jolly Roger in reference to pirate flags goes back to at least Charles Johnson's A General History of the Pirates, published in Britain in 1724. Johnson specifically cites two pirates as having named their flag Jolly Roger, Bartholomew Roberts in June 1721 and Francis Spriggs in December 1723. While Spriggs and Roberts used the same name for their flag designs were very different, suggesting that already Jolly Roger was a generic term for black pirate flags, rather than a name for any single specific design. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you would like to view more of our videos.
So these skulls represent pirates. Anytime you see them with the skulls. So I was remembering all the celebrities that was wearing all those skull t-shirts and stuff. They were just telling us they were pirates on the ship, right? I didn't know. I was thinking skull and bones kickback contracts. I guess it's the same thing practically, right? But they had that whole line of clothing. Don't laugh, you guys, but you know, you see the stuff. We don't have a clue half the stuff we're seeing, right? Here's Linwood.
Do you believe that is real, sir? Is that real?
I don't know the facts in terms of dates and Clinton and the fact that it was supposed to go into effect on September 11th of 2001, I believe you said.
Yeah.
But I do believe that the law is real. I do believe the law is necessary for the long-term survival of our country from an economic standpoint and, more importantly, from a freedom standpoint where you return government to the people. So I do believe that Donald Trump will, in fact, I've heard it called Nassarus and Jasaurus, I believe also, but I believe that he will enact that. Now, again, I'm not a historian, but my general knowledge tells me that around 1912, America defaulted on its notes. And the bank, the Rothschild Bank, which is now known as the Federal Reserve Bank, not owned by America, essentially, because we defaulted, took over our financial system. We had to bank through the Federal Reserve. They've been issuing all the money, paper money, eventually not backed by gold, not backed by silver, but backed by the full faith and credit of the United States. So it's almost like unsecured debt. And they've been printing it faster than they can make paper. And we are now one of the most we're a debtor country. And it strangles us. The interest strangles us. The control the Federal Reserve has over us strangles us. So when they formed and went into the relationship in the 1912 or thereabouts, we became the United States of America Incorporated, Inc. That was the entity that signed away the rights to the monetary system to the Federal Reserve or the Rothschilds. What I believe is that, in effect, to put it in simple terms, you know, Trump was always criticized because he had bankrupted two companies, and he said, hey, it was allowed by law, and it helped survive the companies so they could flourish again. And everybody criticized him about it. I believe that Donald Trump is going to bankrupt this country, the United States of America, Inc.
Now, real quick.
Everybody's going to say that's the smartest thing he's ever done.
Now, real quick.
Lynn, I want to ask you.
Lynn, I want to ask you real quick. I'm so sorry. I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
You just said the United States of America, Inc., and I have never spoken to you about this. That's an honest thing. You and I have never talked about the United States of America, Inc., ever. I know about this, and therefore I know you're not crazy. But could you explain what that is real quick, sir? So sorry to cut you off. I just know somebody just had their mind blown.
Well, and that was my next question, too, so I'd love to hear that.
So, Lynn, can you tell us about the United States of America, Inc.?
Well, before we incorporated, in order to take this transaction when we defaulted on our debt, we were the United States of America, the Republic. And since that time, we've been, in fact, doing our financial system through the Federal Reserve as the United States of America, Inc., a corporation. And that corporation can be bankrupted because we are spending more than we are bringing in. That's an element of bankruptcy. Our debt is greater than our assets. That's another element, either one of which would allow you to declare bankruptcy. So what happens? Just like in an individual, if you declare bankruptcy, you got to pay your secured creditors with the security, but your unsecured creditors get in line. Well, let me tell you something. We've been printing so much money, we'd never be able to pay it back. So what happens? One of the big things that would happen is, who is one of our biggest creditors? Who owns a lot of our debt? China. If we bankrupt against China, the Chinese economy, which is already very fragile because of the America First policies instituted by President Trump, their economy will implode. What happens? Maybe the result of that is the Communist Chinese Party loses power and China returns to a country where the people of China take it back over. That's a real threat to China. It's a threat to the Communist Party of China. So they will pull out all stops to prevent their destruction. They'll pull out all stops to prevent Donald Trump from taking an action that is absolutely essential for the long-term survivability of America, the United States of America, the Republic. So I believe that if things go, hopefully they do go to someone's plan. It's not mine. But I'd like to see President Trump come back and serve as the 19th president of the United States of America, the Republic, because that's the number that would apply if we went back in time to when we became Inc., back when we made the deal with the Rothschilds. I think we'd have an economy going back to the gold standard where our currency had value, not just paper. I think we would go back and we would find ourselves where you didn't have to have an income tax, where you could have a 17%, let's say, consumption tax, where the government would be able to help some of the people that might be harmed by the financial transaction in terms of mortgages or savings lost. We've become once again a nation of economic prosperity, not a debtor nation. We'd be a debt-free nation, and our economy can generate the income to pay the bills. We got to run it like a business. You can't spend more than you make. Our assets in this country are great. The gold reserves, sufficient for the time being, but look what would happen. If we go through with the executive order from President Trump that he put into effect in 2018, all foreign countries who interfered in our election, all of the American companies that interfered in our election, all of the individuals who interfered in our election, the government has the right to confiscate their assets. Now you see why America can be financially not only solvent, but financially well off to take care of the needs of this country and to still be able, where there's needs around the world, to help others.
Did you guys get that? All right. Remember, you guys support us here. Boy, I tell you, we're having a day and a half, boy. Somebody just asked us this morning, right? Told us they needed this particular equipment. We rush out and borrow the equipment at a cost to us, only to find out that there's all these other stipulations to use the equipment. Granted, they could have said something. Pray for us, you guys. Anyways, you guys, like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day. Remember to support us here. Those of you who needed the GSA bonds can email us for those to set off matters. And those of you who needed the 1099 OID to get back the finances they claimed you owed, you can email us for that as well. Remember to support us here. Please support us here. Go to PayPal at themullings@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day. And remember, you guys, faith without works is dead. And don't get caught up in the emotions of stuff, you guys. It's a waste of energy. You know what I'm saying to you? Just go through it as you're going through it. I know you get little bumps and bruises along the way like we have here, but just try your best. Just keep going, right? All right, like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day.